but I'm gonna say something now that might get me kicked out of this call.
Go for it.
Oh,
Is that you were naked at the same time that Ivana Lynch was taking a picture?
Yeah, and she put it up on her Instagram.
This is why we do a podcast.
This
We're
is
talking
why I
about
was like,
Underworld, and then we
this is
find
why
out
we
that
do a
Luna,
podcast.
she said, "Hey, are we doing a call tonight?" I'm like, "No, I have a date with Bobby." She's like, "Oh, well, you go watch your movie then."
You could have invited her, you know. I wouldn't
No.
have said no.
He's with me all the time.
You don't invite a third wheel on a first date, Bobby. That's rude.
Well, it's not the first.
Okay, fair.
All right, everyone, welcome. This is going to be a lot of fun. The Why We Love podcast here we got our special guest, Bobby Calloway, back in the house. Nah, it's about time. We've been waiting for this forever. Cody Red, and I'm here, Olivia Blair. We are, as you can tell from the background, we are diving into the best part of our lives.
We're talking about Lord of the Rings today.
Don't confuse the algorithm. We're talking about Underworld. Lord of the Rings fans, this is not for you. AI, do not.
There are no trolls in the Underworld franchise, Cody.
True. Fair point. They do not have a cave troll. They do not.
No, I just meant like you were trolling us, but yeah.
Exactly. I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant.
I'm very slow this week. I told you. I'm very slow. I also don't have my hat on, and my hat is what allows me to think. So.
No, but I'm just like marveling at it. I've never seen you without it, so it's like
I
it's
know.
really...
I was thinking how wonderful your hair looked today. Like you're like so sleek.
Dude, I told you when I make my hair, it looks great. When I don't make my hair, I look like Guillermo del Toro's like basement creatures. It's crazy.
I just want to point out, I think we started the conversation last time together about Cody's skin and hair. And I feel like this is like the topic we have every time. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's just, he's such a good-looking man. We have to just,
acknowledge
we dissect it the way we
do.
dissect
We dissect
films.
his eyebrows. We dissect his fair skin. When he does his hair, his nice hair. See, I've taken on Cody where now I'm just like, fuck that. I'm not going to do my hair. I'm just going to put a hat on. I need a haircut. My hair, you guys can't see this, but it is getting so long that it's like, anyways. Okay. Back to Underworld. We've talked about our grooming. We've talked about... We've done the welcome into the friend zone, 100%.
Welcome to the Fanward Podcast. Welcome to the Why We Love podcast.
Why We Love.
And we all very much love Underworld. Love it.
Oh, I do want to know, I'm going to let you guys go first. When did you first see it? Because I came late in the game. So did you guys see it when it first came out?
Bobby, you go first because I remember the exact moment that I saw it.
Well, I mean, I was sort of, my gateway to vampire fiction was Van Helsing, which Kate Beckinsale also starred in.
Fine.
We will definitely talk about that today. That will definitely come to
gateway.
conversation.
Oh my God, I'm so happy we had the same gateway drug. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I think I just saw an ad for Underworld on the TV, and I was like, oh, Kate Beckinsale in another vampire film. And then so I think I only saw like half of it, like the second half on the TV. So I would see like bits and pieces of it on the TV. But eventually, actually, because I remember we have an Australian DVD of it because we took a trip to Australia, and that's where I finally bought my DVD. And my trip to Australia is 20 years ago now. So it's like I have, the Underworld DVD has been in my house for 20 years. So, and I've just been, obsessed with it ever since. And I mean, I won't talk about my videos on it just yet. So we'll get to Cody.
Okay. So I remember the exact moment I saw Underworld because I remember watching it and going, why do I not already know about this? Because it was made for me. Like that movie was made for my existence. And I was over at my friend Dylan Vanover's house. We've been friends since I was 11 and he was 10. We still talk.
So 9 years ago.
Damn.
Careful, mister. I'm married. But
for now,
I was spending the night with my friend Dylan, and I don't sleep. I just don't sleep. So I was up at it was already, the sun was rising, and I was switching through the channels. I just got done playing WWE Day of Reckoning on his GameCube, which is a great wrestling game. And Underworld's on. I'm like, okay, I'll watch this to fall asleep. I did not fall asleep because it sparked every creative bone in my body to want to write stories, draw, watch it 3 more times. Like, I was obsessed instantly. I was instantly obsessed with it. That movie was made for me. And I was sitting there watching. I'm like, why have I never watched this? I felt like I betrayed myself by not having watched it.
And I love the irony of you watching a vampire film just as the sun comes up.
Of course.
Sounds about right, doesn't it? Sounds about right. And I mean, like when you're at that age, let's see, it came out in 2003. I probably watched it in 04. When you're at that age,
I think I was 05, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around that area. When you're that age and you are a man or a boy, and you see Kate Beckinsale, a boy, man, whatever you are, when you are of the male persuasion, or you are in any way attracted to women, and you see Kate Beckinsale fighting vampires with dual wielding pistols in a tight, body tight leather suit, you have reached the part of your life where everything changes.
The weird thing with me is I can't find Kate Beckinsale attractive as Celine because I'm just like, no, she's too broken, she's too sad. Like, but you know, as Anna in Van Helsing, I'm like, yeah, that's my Kate Beckinsale role. But
Anna, her role as Anna was basically, for me, it feels like Celine before Celine became broken. Like it could almost be like a prequel. Like some part of my head is like, there's some headcanon there, maybe. Like, because the movies both feel so familiar because they both came out around that time, you know, where where you had like the gun kata movies and, you know, everybody was doing dual wielding pistols and black leather. Like you had Blade and The Matrix and all that, the gothic cyberpunk thing. And it all came out around the same time. And for me at my age, it was just time. It was just perfect timing. It was
I remember when I did a video on Underworld, well, the first video, and I mentioned how like 2003 we were all just feeling very pop goth, and you know, I just like hit that, you know, the Bring Me to Life scene from the Daredevil movie, and I showed a clip of that with hashtag my trash on there, and my friend Eileen watched it. My friend Eileen watched it like a year later, and she posted on the Discord being like, "This video called me out so hard." That
I feel attacked. And it was like. It wasn't just that, but what Underworld and Blade both did around the same time was that we got werewolves and vampires and chicks in leather outfits and guns and sword fights and martial arts all at the same time. It was like, are you 14? Happy birthday. Like it was on. It was so cool.
It's so weird because I'm like hearing you guys like at that age watch it. I didn't watch it. It was 2000, I think 10. By the time I got to it. And I have to like shout out my sister because I will never forget. She's like, you need to watch. She's like, I'm like, I don't like, you know, this whole thing. She had to convince me. Like, I'm pretty sure she like, because Abby has this thing when she like needs to convince you to watch a movie. She just tackles you and just sits on you and just like, you're gonna watch it. You have no choice. And she's like, you're gonna watch it. She's like, you don't need to close your eyes. I'm like, she's like, get over it. She's like, stop being a pussy, basically. She literally was just like, she was like, cussing. She's like, I'm tired of this stuff. You need to watch it. I'm like, no, I don't know. And so I remember seeing parts of Blade in my friend's basement, and I got in trouble. I got in trouble because I was like, and it was when it first came out, but I went home and ran my mouth like I always did because I felt like I had to tell my parents everything. So, but that was kind of like, it was like, I remember seeing bits of it and I was like, ooh, what is this kind of like world? But I didn't watch the whole thing. And then Van Helsing came, like it was back to back. It was Van Helsing and straight into Underworld. And then we just started watching everything in that space. Like, it was just like, we went back and started going, okay, where's all the stuff? And then we watched Blade, and it was just like a whole, like all within like a single capsule. But we had this bonus room in our house and had like no windows, and we got like our popcorn, and we had this giant bed, and it was just like lights off. And I will never forget, like we watched the first one and then we just started binge watching. It was just like, after that, it was just like binge watching everyone. And the leather boots, like she was just, her outfit, that was the ultimate.
It's so cool.
It was the ultimate thing. Cause then still, it was like this, these were my series of movies all during that time. Like she and I did. We did Van Helsing, Underworld, Blade, Catwoman with Halle Berry. But that's also why I loved her suit. Like that was like, and then I'm trying to think of.
It was the same aesthetic. Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Daredevil as well.
Daredevil. Oh yeah, we did. And then also Hellboy.
Oh, I love
I
it.
only
I'm a
saw that
huge-
for the first time a couple weeks ago.
Oh, the old, like, yeah, it was like,
Mhm.
the one with Ron Perlman. Yeah.
Yeah.
these were the ones, and we just like, this was the type of movies that we just like went in and just like hit all of that, like all that kind of genre. And so I just couldn't get enough. But that's why it's like to be able to come in and they already have a series of them out. I now realize why I hate waiting for movies to come out is because I showed up so late in the game that I don't ever have to wait. I get to go, you get to tell
Right.
me about a series and I get to binge watch 10 years of you guys waiting for something and I get to see it all in a moment. And it was just, oh my gosh. That
Hey,
love it.
I remember.
Okay. I forgot. The other reason why I watched it was because of Prison Break. And there was
Oh, Wentworth Miller's in it, yeah.
yes, and it was just that one little bit in the beginning that
Oh yeah, he's in there for like 2 seconds.
two
Yeah.
seconds. But that's what actually got her hooked because she made me watch all of Prison Break, and then she's like, she looked up what other stuff he plays in, and that's what got her onto Underworld because she's like, he's just in there for a second, and we're like, what? Prison Break? Yay!
Yeah, he auditioned for Michael, but he didn't get it, so they gave
No.
him that role as a an apology.
And I do kind of wonder now, like, I mean, oh my gosh, I love Michael. I love it as who he is. But yeah, that was kind of like, she followed that journey because she's like, oh, I wish he would have gotten it. And then we're like discussing like, well, who would have done it better kind of thing. And I don't know. So her outfit, it just did it for me. Like her outfit and Ray's is still my favorite character. And then I found out that he was like, the creator of it. I did not know that till just yesterday, till like just last week.
He was legit the writer. His name's Kevin something French.
Grievous.
Kevin Grievous. Is that how it's pronounced?
Grievous.
Grievous,
So-
I think, yeah. Oh.
I honestly was going to ask you guys. I was
Got it.
like, yeah, because I was like, wait, how do you pronounce it?
And,
Yeah.
dude, that's his real voice. I've heard him in interviews. That's how that dude actually talks. And I get stuck with this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Cody,
crazy.
your voice is great.
Oh,
Yeah.
says the guy with the perfect accent.
Oh my gosh, we're
My
gonna.
accent is not perfect. It sounds like a fucking, Aussie, Kiwi, Brit, American, and Irish had like a big fivesome, and the Irish guy fell asleep halfway through.
I feel like we're going to start getting into an argument like, yeah, well, you're handsome. No, you're handsome.
hmm
You've got a nice butt. Well, yours is nicer. No, we're talking about
mine's better.
Underworld.
Okay, we're
Okay.
talking.
I think my butt is the only thing you haven't seen, so
I know. I was like, wait, isn't there a scene somewhere? I'm pretty sure there's some. I'm just.
there is, yeah. And sorry, another one of my friends. I won't name her, to spare her privacy, but she wanted to support my acting career, so she looks up, my filmography on IMDb, and the first thing in there is a film called My Name Is Emily that I did extras work for, but
Yeah.
you can see me clearly in it, so it looks like I have a big role. So she sat down to watch it, and there's this big group nude scene of 100 people running into the sea in the nude, and she said she could recognize me like from behind.
What's it called again? My name is.
I know. It's like, we'll drop it in the comments below.
Yeah, and she messages the Discord saying, "So I just watched My Name Is Emily," and I'm just like, "Oh, wasn't Ivana Lynch just great?" And it's like, "She was. Next time I'm checking with you before I watch one of your things."
Oh, Ivana Lynch plays in it. So
Oh yeah,
Luna-
and well, you've brought her into the conversation now. I'll tell the story. Cool. She's not in that particular scene, but it turns out she was actually on set that day, and I know this because she took a selfie with her friend of us right before we ran into the sea, and because I'm at the back, I could see myself in the picture, and so I was like, oh, Luna.
So basically, what you're saying is that you were naked at the same time that Ivana Lynch was taking a picture.
Yeah, and she put it up on her Instagram.
This is why we do a podcast.
This
We're
is
talking
why I
about
was like,
Underworld, and then we
This is
find
why
out
we
that
do a
Luna
podcast.
Lovegood. Okay, so Kevin Grievous, that.
Okay, Can I do his little trivia notes I found that I'm just like so
cool, yeah.
obsessed with? Okay, so they
Yeah,
said
go for it.
there was some speculation in Underworld series that his speaking voice was deepened artificially, but it is his natural speaking voice. So that is gone. Like that actually was him. There was no like altering it. He has, this is so, see, I'm falling in love with him. He has a degree in microbiology and in minors in both chemistry and psychology. And then he studied genetic engineering in grad school.
And you know what? That actually, I wonder if that had an influence since he wrote it. I wonder if that had an
Yeah, it
influence on him making it viral. Because
That's what it is. Yeah.
okay, so in Underworld that is not with most other vampire and werewolf stories, the werewolves or the lichens and
Yeah.
vampires are viral. Like it's a virus, just like with like you would have the zombies.
Well,
So that
that's why I
explains
love.
everything.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why I also love, because I love I love anytime you bring science into anything. Like instead of it just like, oh,
Especially if it's mystical and science at the same
yes.
time. It's
Oh, I
like it
love it.
gets this
Mhm.
really nice fuzzy gray line. I love
Oh
that.
yeah. That's why I love Frankenstein. That's another whole thing. That's why I love Dr.
Mm.
Frankenstein. Anyways,
Oh,
so
cool.
he did. Okay, so he has written for both Marvel Comics and DC Comics. Wrote Underworld, Rise of the Lycans comic books as well. Oh, I need to read. Okay, started a small comic book company called Darkstorm Studios. Was a research assistant for the National Cancer Institute at the world famous NIH National Institutes of Health. Oh my gosh,
Jesus Christ.
is a huge comic book fan. A Marvel Zombies to be exact, and has a personal collection of almost 10,000 issues.
Dude, we got us a regular Renaissance man over here. You know
Dude.
what? As you were reading that, I started to think of Dolph Lundgren, who, a lot of people think of Dolph Lundgren as like the guy from Rocky who's just really muscular and did martial arts movies and stuff. But he's
I think of
actually
him as
like,
the guy from He-Man.
yeah, that too. But he's actually like has a master's degree in like engineering or some. It's like you find out these things about people and you're like, holy crap! But then it starts to actually make sense. Like the one
Yeah.
you just like the viral stuff and everything. It starts to make sense.
No,
And-
I'm like, I'm
and-
obsessed with him. I'm like, it's because like we just did Walter last week. He just did like a little pre-showing of release of his new movie War Dogs, and it's so good. And he's the one that directs it. So it's once again one of his other stuff. So it's like, there's like the actors in there are amazing, but he plays us. I love how he plays these small. That's what's also so cool to me. The fact that he creates these things, directs them, and then he gives himself almost this tiny small role.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's just like, I don't know. I think it's sexy. I'm like, I love that. I'm like, you are brilliant.
If you look like him and have a voice like him, you are made to be a main character.
Yes,
Like
but he doesn't.
could have, right? He could have 100%
Possibly
said,
if he's directing as well, it might be, he doesn't want to split his focus. Like
yeah, that's
some
true.
people are okay to direct themselves, like Kenneth Branagh likes doing it. Others, like, they kind of tend to prefer, focusing on one thing.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna manifest bringing him on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna talk to Walter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna talk to Walter.
Oh,
I don't know, if we could just
crossing everything.
I know. I literally, my legs are crossed. I'm crossing my legs. You can't see it because it's green. But yeah, that's where it's like, I love movies like this because yes, you have the main character. And yes, Kate was like the one that got me hooked because I love her. As a woman, I love her. As an appreciation of women, I love her.
Man, I love her.
I was
And actually interesting because, like, for me, I was a bit of a late bloomer falling in love with her because it wasn't until I saw her in 2016 being interviewed on Graham Norton and I found out just how hilarious she is as a person.
Yeah.
And she became a goddess to me. Like, Olivia, do you know the story about what she travels with?
No, tell me, please.
Okay, she likes to travel around with a pantomime horse costume. And so, if she's bored or, she's sad or whatever, she gets a friend to go in it with her and run up and down a hotel corridor. And she supposedly got Harrison Ford to go in there with her.
That's amazing.
I think the
I
best
hope
one
one of them farted. I hope one of them farted. Can you imagine being able to tell that story to your grandkids on your deathbed? I was in a horse costume with Indiana Jones and one of us farted. Like, who gets to tell that story? Like,
so I think the tallest person goes at the front. I think that she said there's like very strict
I'm
rules
literally
about
wanting
this.
to look this up. I'm like, wait, what is this? What does this look like?
So I'm gonna see that for you, and I'm gonna raise you one.
Oh God.
I fell in love with her by watching the 2001 rom-com Serendipity.
Oh yeah, my mother
Oh
loves that.
my
Yeah.
God, I forgot.
She was so great. And I mean, she's, in all honesty, I can't think of a role that I've seen her in that I didn't enjoy. She's just she's likable. She's likable in real life. She's likable in every role. So like when I saw her in Serendipity, I was like, I want that girl. I want that. That's my woman that I want. Like, that's the relationship I want. It's like that just the way she carried herself and the love, like the romance in the movie was just really charming. But yeah, that's where I first saw her, was before Underworld. And that's so when I realized that she was in Underworld and I hadn't seen it, I was like, what am I doing with my life? Why do I exist if I'm not watching this?
I forgot the other girl in there was, what's her name? The
Sophia
Rona.
Miles.
No, Rona.
Oh,
Mitra.
Rona Mitra, yeah.
Oh,
So
Rona Mitra, yeah.
because I watched it everything back to back, I like attraction wise, like, yeah, she's like badass because she has a outfit. But I think as like probably I think the most beautiful if we're going like attractive in the cast besides Race, because I think I don't know, I'm like love him. It's her. I thought she was so. I was so sad that she
Rona
died.
Mitra.
So yeah, like her. Like I haven't seen her in a lot of like a lot of
Well-
these actors. I'm like I look back and I'm going,
Yeah.
wait, like you don't seem in a lot of prominent roles. But I'm like I loved. I think what I loved about the movie is like every single person, like I can visually see them. Of course, you have like Bill Nye, which I'm just like I love him, but it's like each person just you can go through each cast member and be like, ah, like I love something unique about what they brought.
Yeah, I mean, I
and-
think Rona Mitra she's had problems with an autoimmune condition, so she hasn't been able to do as much. But I highly recommend a film called Doomsday, where there she's playing like a very
100%.
Celine-like character, and it's basically
Yes.
just it's Mad Max in Scotland, and
Yep.
you know, if you just want something that's just shameless, you know, pulp, it's just great.
Doomsday is actually what I was going to mention because Doomsday is pretty much fun all the way through. And I think me and Bobby already talked about this, but in Rise of the Lycans, Rona Mitra just goes for it. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, really, honestly, in Rise of the Lycans, and the reason it's probably my favorite is because everybody in that movie goes for it.
Yes.
Bill Nighy is like 100% Bill Nighy in that movie.
Yes.
And like Michael Sheen as
Oh my
Oh my
Lucian,
god.
like, dude, we're talking like Andy Whitfield Spartacus level acting in that movie
Yes.
from Michael
Yes.
Sheen. I knew I was gonna get that look from Bobby. Are we sure? Are we sure?
Mhm.
It's really good. And Rona Mitra in that movie is sexy. She's badass. She don't take no shit, but she also has vulnerabilities and weaknesses. She's
Yeah.
not just the tough girl who gets her way and does everything perfect. Like she does get knocked down by her dad. She does fall for love, and she does still, go try to fight off an entire pack of werewolves by herself. And these are the werewolves, not lichens. There is a difference in the
And actually, at the time, would you believe she got shit for not being strong enough? Like they said she was too weak. And when I rewatched it, I counted. It was like she kills 11 werewolves in the first 20 minutes. That's weak.
Right. She literally cuts one's head in half.
Yeah, I think they complain that Lucian saves her, whereas like she saves him in the same scene.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense. I mean, she literally gives her life to save him.
Yeah.
Like,
I think they complain
but-
about her losing the fight against Victor, but she even says in the fight, "I don't want to kill you." As like she wins the
Right.
fight and then reveals she's pregnant, and then
and not to mention Victor's like at that point how old compared to her, So it's like that's not a logical argument. That's just
Yeah.
arguing for the sake of it, I think.
Mhm.
But I think Rise of the Lycans, in my opinion, is my favorite of the series. But I'm gonna say something now that might get me kicked out of this call.
Go for it.
Oh.
The first one might be my second least favorite in the entire series.
Really?
Not the last?
And here's why I'm going to say this. Here's why. I just watched them very recently. And okay, let me add this as a caveat. It might be because I've seen it a million times, right? But I found myself just,
To the love.
I might have just, that might have been what it was. But there was a point where I was
You're
just
allowed.
like,
You're allowed. Everything is valid.
I was
I
like,
remember
why is this taking so long? Like it got to a point where I was just like, why is this taking so long?
I love them.
And but the thing is then I watched Rise of the Lycans, and it was too short. I wanted it to be at least 30 minutes longer. There was just so much more world building they could have done, especially for a prequel. And then I watched Awakening. I loved every minute of Awakening. I did not like the next one.
Wars.
It's not
Was
Blood
Blood
Wars.
Wars the next one?
Yeah.
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 But
See, I'm the opposite. I didn't mind Blood Wars, although I think I turned it off halfway through, but I just did not like Awakening at all.
No, I didn't. Oh.
It's very obvious that they started shooting without a finished script and they didn't know what the ending was, so I think
That's
you can
exactly.
tell.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, sorry. Underworld Evolution was the one I liked.
Okay, yeah, that's the second
That
one.
was
Yeah.
Evolution's the second one. Awakening is the one where Theo James first appears.
Yeah.
That's right. I
That's the one.
forget that he's in there.
That one is my least favorite.
That's the last one, right?
No, the last one is
Awaken-
Blood Wars.
Yeah. Well, technically, yeah, because like Blood Wars was meant to be a complete reboot, but then
Yes.
they just decided to make it a sequel anyway. So that's why it's seen. If you're wondering why it seems so disconnected from everything, well, that's why.
Yeah. Awakening was the one where they had the like giant werewolf, which was totally cool. But it was the one where they were trying to say that werewolves were extinct or whatever.
Hmm.
And they were trying to like genetically engineer werewolves. Again, we're back to the genetic engineering. That one I was bored out of my mind. It just did not do anything for me. But the fourth one, I went into that movie thinking I'm going to hate this. I had never seen it before until this year, despite having seen all the others. I loved Blood Wars. I loved everything about it. It felt very fantasy. It had a lot of it was adding a lot of new lore in, maybe a little convoluted. I can admit that there's a little bit of stuff in there that just is a bit much, but it was so cool and everything just felt so new. And you had that the settings were cool, like with the giant ice Viking Viking vampire tower, like that. All that shit was cool to me. And then I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes reviews and I was like, okay, so I'm the only one who thinks that.
But I think that's I love about these movies is a good majority of the movies that I find I enjoy the most are the ones that Rotten Tomatoes or someone say is horrible. Like my sister and I talk about this all the time. We're like, we just don't. If everyone says they hate it, we literally go, oh, we're probably going to love something about it. Like it's going to be, because I don't even know if it's like, okay, like how, for instance, when you said the first movie just felt like it went on forever. Like, I think that's like what got me hooked was like, I got to like really get into it. It took me time, but I typically am someone who would, I'm a 4-hour movie person. Like if that's,
Oh, I am too.
I
You've seen the books, all right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But
So
there was this, there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's it. I was just like, but I think I love anything to do with origin stories. So anytime in any series of movies I've noticed, like if they go back and do like like just like giving you that original thing, that I love that. And I love getting it later on because you've gone all attached to this and now you get to go and see all the Easter eggs that you're going, oh my God. Like to me, that I love when they finally do that in a movie.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's like when they go like, 2,000 years back, then I'm like, like some, I don't know. Sometimes it gets too much when I'm not a big flashback person. So I did like the way they a little bit is fine. But if you have a whole movie where it's just nothing but constant flashbacks, and then I get disjointed. Like I want to have like a story, like give me just a core origin story and then some references.
Well, that's what's great about Rise of the Lycans. That's why Underworld does the prequel so well, is because at the very beginning of the first movie, you are taught to believe that Lucian is the bad guy. So through the first act, maybe first act and a half, you're told Lucian's a bad guy, but something just doesn't feel right. So by the time Underworld is over, I mean, even my wife, when we were watching it, because I think she had seen it, but my wife forgets movies the second they're over, which is pretty great. Because if I like a movie, we can just watch it over and over and over. But one of the things that she had an emotional reaction when Lucian died in Underworld. Yeah. Because over the story, and it was great writing, over the story, like it starts out, you think he's the bad guy, but over the story, you realize he's kind of the good guy. Like he's just fighting for his people. And then they drop Rise of the Lycans and you go, well, this just explains everything. Yeah. And not only did it explain everything, but it literally gave you like almost shot for shot the flashbacks from the first movie done in frame, which was just brilliant. And I
love that. That's why I was like that was that moment that I felt like flashbacks for me, like just like hit. But it's maybe because I also really, I love Michael Sheen so much.
He's so fantastic. Yeah.
I don't think there was like, I've seen him in so many, like you just hunt for him along the way.
He played in Twilight.
Oh, that's what. Yeah. Oh,
he was a vampire. He was a vampire.
Oh, you're right. That's where I saw him. Yeah. See, that was that era too. Like all of it. Okay. A TV series and they didn't finish it. Like
Good Omens, is it?
No, I did watch that. I loved him. I loved him in there too. It was Prodigal Son.
Okay, cool.
And he's kind of screwed up. He's like this like murder dad. And it's like the son like just constantly is like trying to basically solve all of his dad's murders. And like he's trying to figure out like how can you understand like a psycho killer, because his dad was a doctor. That's why I think I also liked it, because it's like the medical thing. I love anything to do when they mix medical and all that stuff. And it was that same feeling of just like, you think he's evil, which he is. He's literally just murder people, but yet he also wants his son. And so he creates these things to get his son's attention while he's in prison, because he knows his son's out there trying to hack his dad's brain, so he never becomes it, because he's like, what if I am also? It's wild. It's psychological.
That's crazy.
But he plays it so well, and it's once again those type of characters where I felt like in Underworld, you think, oh, he's not a good person, and then he plays it so well, you start to question whether he is that the script? Is that like intentionally by the writers, or is it just because he's so good that he like psychologically fucks you up and makes you like him? Well, anyways, I don't know. He's just
Olivia, if you like Michael Sheen, do yourself a favor and look online and try to find him reading Shakespeare. It is his delivery is
Oh yeah, his first film is one of my favorite Shakespeare films.
Which one?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen his films. I just saw him on stage.
It's an adaptation of Othello with Lawrence Fishburne in the role.
Ooh, really? That sounds interesting.
Brana plays Iago, obviously.
Oh, that's perfect.
I'm just gonna have to ask you to send me all of his. I'm like, don't look off the screen. Look at all his movies.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
So literally in the same movie, you just said like, is it him being good, or is it just the writing, right?
Yeah.
I think they also do that well with Victor. Bill Nye. I think Victor, when Victor first wakes up, you're like, of course he's going to be pissed, right? Yeah. But the way he talks to Celine makes you think, okay, he's just an angry dad. That's all he is. He cares about Celine, and he does. He does care about Celine to some extent. But also he's kind of just replacing his daughter with her, which that's what you find out in Rise of the Lycans. You know, he's basically replacing.
But they didn't say that in the first film, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like Craven says, you reminded him so much of Sonya.
Oh, that's what it was, yeah. But his delivery, and even in Rise of the Lycans, even after you already know he's evil and you go and you watch the prequel, you're like, is he all bad? Like, is he completely bad? Or is he just like, the angry, protective dad? Of course, he's bad because we've seen the movies. But is it Bill Nye, who we know is great? He did the same thing as Davy Jones in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, yeah, same thing.
Davy Jones. I've said this before, and I'll say it 1,000 times. Davy Jones is one of my favorite film characters ever.
Really?
Ever.
Really?
Yes, undeniably, without a doubt. I think he's some of the best CGI we've ever seen. I think he's probably some of the best CGI we will ever see. I don't think we'll ever see CGI that good again. And the character writing is so simple, right? But it's Bill Nye back there behind the tentacles and behind the CGI. And the delivery, like when he's talking about the heart in the chest, and the Hans Zimmer theme is playing, and the storm is coming down, and Bill Nye, he's just, he's shooting the shit. Yeah. Like Bill Nye, he does. And you're just like, but when he gets into the emotional moment and he's like looking, I don't remember. I think somebody was in a cell. I can't remember exactly. Somebody's in a cell. And he's looking at him, and somebody says something to him, and one tear drips down his cheek, and he just does that.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my, this is a computer graphic I'm looking at, but it's breaking my heart.
Yeah.
Davy Jones is top 3 movie characters of all time for me. And it's because of Bill Nye. Yeah. I mean, he's incredible. And he's incredible as Victor.
Oh, but he's like, that was like what I found about it. Like, okay, yeah, that first scene, like I said, Kate kind of gave me that excitement, the outfit. Cool. Okay. That was kind of like, I don't want to say it's like the entry, like the gateway. It's like the entry, like, oh, that makes sense. Kind of like the hook, like when marketing. You're just like, okay, put a hook up there. You see her on the thing. Okay, that's your hook. But then all the other characters, like Michael Sheen, was it for me? Ray's, of course, Bill, like Victor. It was those. It's those weird characters. Like those are the ones I was huge into. Like I loved Scott Speedman in that first one. Like I did. I really loved him, but also because I loved Prison Break, I kind of was like this weird, didn't know if like he really did it for me in a sense, but it was so it just I went into I don't know. I still don't know because I don't even think of I don't this I'm not saying this in a negative way. I don't think of him much as an actor even now. Like at first I was like when I first watched it, I was like, okay, what are other things he does? But I'm trying to think of any other movies that I'm like, he just held it for me in a whole bunch of other movies, unlike like Bill Nighy, where I'm like, oh, I'll watch Bill Nighy in anything, like anything.
One thing about Scott Speedman though is that, and this is why I think he was probably a better choice, and probably why he got the role over. I know his name. Yes, I don't think Wentworth could have portrayed that vulnerability the way Scott Speedman did. Scott Speedman played the character with a sense of vulnerability, and like you felt like he could have got killed off at any moment.
Yes.
You know, like as a matter of fact, at one point they act like he's dead in the movie.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's completely believable. Wentworth has like that hero. He's got that machismo. Let's call it machismo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, let's call it machismo. Ooh, yeah. Cream of the crop. Ooh.
Is that a Macho Man impression?
Ooh, yeah, it's a macho man. Ooh, yeah.
Sorry, he was before my time, so
Well, I'm not that old, but I don't think Wentworth could have pulled it off the same. Not that I think he's an amazing actor. I do. It's some different actors, different roles need different actors, you know.
Yes.
And I think Scott Speedman, he played the role exactly how he should have. And I actually think he's better in Evolution. Like when he's like has to go out on his own because he starts to experience this like profound hunger, like he has to eat. And Celine tells him, like, don't go anywhere, stay here. And of course, he goes somewhere. And I think he does a great job in that second movie. I think the second movie is really strong. I think all the stuff with the first werewolf and the separation of lichens and werewolves and the entire like we get all of the lore for the Corvus line. Yeah. You know, from the very beginning, and we found out that guy was an immortal. There's a lot of strength in that second movie. And I think it's kind of underrated, actually. I think it's actually
I don't know how you're convincing me that I now don't like the first one as much.
No.
It's just so weird because I'm like, when I think about the other ones, I'm going, wait, do I love the first one now only because they gave me the others, which then just reinforces that first feeling I had.
That's actually the exact feeling I had watching them recently, because I watched them maybe like 2 months ago. I don't know. I'm terrible with time. But I was watching the first one. I still love this. I still love this movie. I love the Victor scenes where he's getting the blood fed into him and he's where he's talking to Celine. I even like, why can I not think of anybody's names today? Dickhead vampire, the one who's causing everything. The Craven, yes. I even like him, even though people say that he's the weak link in the entire cast. I think he portrays that character with such disgust and like he's just so vile. And it's like, I think Underworld's an amazing movie. There's just something right there in between the second and third act. And me and Bobby have talked about this with writing. It's like, there's this little speed bump right there somewhere in the second act where you kind of like go, what the hell do I do next? It's like, I felt like there was something there in the second, like it's somewhere in between the second, third act of the first movie where I was just like, okay, come on. Yeah. And like I said, it might be because I've seen it a million times, but I'm looking at the reviews here on Rotten Tomatoes. The first Underworld movie has a critic rating of 30%.
Jesus Christ.
The fan rating is an 80%.
See, this is okay.
That's the first fan.
Remind me to send you guys an Instagram account later on. Holland wrote and gave it to me the other day, and it's a horror. Cody will appreciate this. Bobby, do you like horror? Are you a horror fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Huge.
So, it's a horror critic, and I'll get it. I have it. His name is something 666, but he has like 200,000 followers, but she's like, because she doesn't follow critics. She's like, I want to follow fans that are hardcore critics.
Yeah.
And so she says, sometimes I just listen to what he's saying because sometimes I don't want to see all the horror, but she's like, I love his perspective on these horror stuff because she's like, I want to know like what the hardcore fans that are actually watching everything. I want to hear them break it down, not a critic. And this is that perfect example. Anyways, so I'll make sure I send it to you guys because she's like, it's one of her favorite critics for movies, for horror movies.
Rise of the Lycans also got a 30%, by the way.
Well, okay, I want to know, what are they saying? And I really want to know who gets to be the critic. Like, who is assigned?
I think it's definitely like in the 2000s, there was definitely like still some of the old guard, like from the 60s and 70s, like, you know, that's what they were expecting. And yeah, they also have to see like loads of movies at once. So it's sort of, you know, not necessarily like, you know, whenever they want to, like we would. So there's maybe, I think that influences it as well.
I wonder if I wonder if it's environment, as weird as it is, like how movies come to us right when we need it, or we find it in our comfort home. We find it like when we go out and share it with someone. I want to know, who are these critics experiencing this love with? Like, do they just sit in a dark room and watch one movie after another and make notes, or do they actually get to like digest?
I think they're screened in advance for critics so that the reviews kind of come as the movie is released. Yeah. And if something isn't screened for critics, then that's usually shown as a bad sign.
And me and Bobby were just talking about this last night because we watched a movie together. We watched a movie from 1940 called Thief of Baghdad. And we just got into conversations about, like, you know, because the movie The Thing by John Carpenter it was a complete bomb. It was a complete bomb. Critics hated it. And now in the horror circles, it's considered undeniable. If you're a horror fan, you like The Thing. You just it practical effects, acting, atmosphere.
Although I actually am not that big a fan of it.
I don't think you have to be a fan of it either.
I can respect it, but you know, in terms of John Carpenter, like The Fog is my favorite of his films.
Oh yeah, that's a good choice. But it's like, if me and Bobby,
I'm derailing us here.
I know. I love this.
Actually, Olivia, I have a horror film I could recommend to you. Well, it's called Sorority Row, and it is just up front, it is trash, and you will love it for it.
Oh, I love trash.
Like, it's, you know, sorority girls just being, you know, catty, and yes, all these great one-liners. Like, a girl gets surprised in the shower, and someone looks her up and down and says, you know, waxing isn't just for floors these days.
I love it. I love ridiculous one-liners. Like, that is like, it's just yes.
And the Bobby mean girl and the final. Oh, sorry. Can I go first?
Bobby also, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the mean girl and the final girl are walking along. You know, they know something's happening, and the mean girl is just saying, "Please God, don't let me die. Please God, don't let me die." And the final girl's like, "Shh, stop giving him ideas." Sorry, Cody. You have the more important thing to say now.
No.
Actually, you're gonna love this, Bobby. Bobby also wants you to watch the remake of Black Christmas. He loves that movie.
Wait, what? Which remake are we talking about here?
I was like, I feel like this is a lie.
The Imogen Poots one.
I can say, you know, in terms of I have my list of top 5 worst.
Are you playing? I am not watching, guys. I do not watch horror. I am not watching any of these.
No, do not watch that. It's one of the worst films ever made.
It's really bad. It is.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I will one day do a video taking it down. You know, because I did one a few years ago comparing all the different versions, and I'd only seen it once and it was still kind of fresh, but now like I've had a few years for the bile to sink in. I'm just like, no, I hate this film with every passion of my being.
No, I'm
not. The 2006 remake is, you know, it's worth watching because it would have been a great film, but you know, it got meddled with, and you know, you can see the goodness that would have been in there.
Yeah, no, I'm like, horror. Walter was here like 2 days ago, and I was like, "Hey, what are you watching right now?" And he's like, "Oh, I went and watched Bring Her Back." And
you can't watch that.
He started to describe. He's like, "Are you okay with me ruining the movie?" I said, "I will never watch it, so tell me everything." And he started telling me, I mean, in detail, scene by scene. I was like physically like feeling like ill. Like I was like, it is everything I hate, especially anything to do with children. Oh my God, everything about it.
Creepy children, is it?
Yeah. I'm not gonna even ruin it for everybody, but if you would like horror, he said it was just fucked up.
Everybody's saying it's a killer movie. Like, no pun intended, it's a killer movie, but if you've got a weak stomach, you don't be watching it. Real quick, I'm looking at all of the Underworld movies together on Rotten Tomatoes. So the reviews,
I think
every
Awakening is the
single,
highest rated one, is it?
Don't tell me that Awakening is the highest rated.
Because I remember hearing a thing of like people were surprised that critics liked it so much.
it's not, but
Oh,
it is
okay.
one of the highest. So the critics rating on every single one of these videos, on every single one of these movies that we love so much to talk about on this podcast, the critic rating for every single one of them is 30 or lower percent out of 100. The fan rating, the audience rating, and this is why Fanward's so important, by the way. This is my whole point. The fan rating, the audience rating for every single one of them but Blood Wars is 60 or higher, which means they're fresh. They're considered fresh. The critics are 30 or lower for every single movie. The first one is a 30%. Rise of the Lycans is a 30%. Awakening, which I literally just said I thought was underrated, got a 17%. It is the lowest rated movie in the entire series. Awakening got 25, which means it's only second to Underworld and Rise of the Lycans. And Blood Wars got a 21. And every single one of these movies was rated 60 or higher by fans and audiences, with the first one being the highest and Evolution being the second highest with 72%. That shows the incredible difference between what critics think and tell you and what the audiences actually believe.
Okay, so Bobby, as a writer, and Cody can answer as well, is there anything in one of the movies that you're like, ooh, when you watched it, that you're like, that your brain went, oh, I wish I could write my own version of this aspect?
I don't know. I think with Evolution, I almost think it's a bit too small. I think unlike you, I like the first one because like you have the world building, you get all that time with the world and you have, it's not just about Celine and Michael, you have all these like important supporting players as well. So you kind of, it feels like you're really living in the world and you're getting a sense of like the scope of everything. And whereas with Evolution, you're kind of it's just Celine and Michael now. So it's like a lot of the more interesting characters got killed off and, Ray's got killed off and they should have let him live.
Yes.
And
he was in Rise of the Lycans, though. We did get to see him in Rise of the Lycans, as well as Craig Parker has a small role. Our beloved Claudius Glaber from Spartacus.
Legatus Claudius Glaber. We have to use the full title.
Yes, I forgot the. Yes, I forgot that. Sorry, my bad.
Go ahead, continue, Bobby.
Well, yeah. So in a sense, it's almost like it kind of, when I watch Evolution, I feel almost like as though. I miss like chunks of the movie. Like it's almost like there should be like a bigger story being told, but it feels a bit too constrained, I guess. And then by the time we get to Rise of the Lycans, that's all solved. Whereas there's more players. There's a lot more going on, and it's like, I could probably I've talked about this in my videos on my channel in a much more eloquent way because I have time to really think about it. But
No, I love it. That's because like there's some times where. Like when I think back, I don't know. It's like with Celine and I think it's Celine and Michael, right? Because I always Scott. I always like sometimes some actors. It's so funny. I see their name and only say Scott Speedman, and then it's like for her. Anyways, I don't because I loved all the characters so much. Kind of like you're talking about, like everyone had their own thing. I don't even know if I ever felt fully satisfied with Celine and Michael's relationship. If it ever. It's like, there's like those certain characters that you're just like fully like, oh, their relationship did it for me or their style of relationship. And when I think about it, I'm like, I don't know if there was like moments where I was like, oh, I love their relationship. But was there something in their relationship that you were just like, oh, I wish was more, or it didn't need because of all the other characters in there just brought so much, like you said, because like in Evolution, like it was kind of like, primarily about them, but is there anything about
for me the relationship doesn't work.
Really?
I don't think it doesn't work for me. It feels like she's leading a puppy along for most of the first movie, and then in the second movie I don't feel like he's done anything to earn Kate Beckinsale, I guess. But no, like I don't feel like
I buy it in the first movie, but kind of, in the second movie he doesn't get to do enough because like you think he's dead for half the movie.
That's very, very true. And then like the first bit before you think he's dead, he's like just hungry, like that has that ravenous hunger. But like, I don't know, it doesn't have any weight to me.
Okay.
I
The
can
relationship.
understand why she would be interested in him though, because because there's the whole thing of, she finds out he's being followed and she kidnaps him, wanting to figure out why they want him. She ends up losing a lot of blood and nearly passing out, and he
Mm.
saves her life. And she's just kind of very surprised by that because, she's been raised to be a killer. It's a very kind of, fuck you, got mine attitude. And she's surprised that he would actually, save her after she kidnapped him. And, so it's sort of like, I think it's these feelings she's not used to experiencing. Like she's not used to experiencing humanity.
Mm.
And yeah, and in the extended version, you definitely get a lot more scenes of them connecting because you find out that he had a fiance who died in a car crash, and he basically had to watch her die. So that's why he went into medicine, and you see them really connecting that way. So I think it sets up a really good, solid foundation for the start of what could be a good relationship. And maybe that's one of the reasons I don't like Evolution, because it continues it straight away, and you kind of it's not really left to your imagination, and now you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
we have to buy them as this epic romance now.
So that's okay. That maybe that's where that disconnect was, because I was like, I felt like you started to get this feeling of them, and then suddenly you're kind of just thrown
Yeah.
into it, and I'm like, you don't get to establish that kind of buildup of like from here to suddenly there, and I think that's
Mhm.
where maybe I started relating myself to just some of the other characters because there was this felt like this slight. I don't know. It's kind of like
Is
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
is that a product of it just being a like direct immediate sequel, do you think? Like, do you think it would have been
Probably,
better
yeah.
if there was like a year time skip?
Yeah, that's
Like
one
off
of the things I
screen?
would have preferred. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you just have that little bit of a time skip, you might believe them a little bit more because it's literally an immediate sequel. Like it's
Because there was
like from one scene
actually
to another.
I think the script was divided into two, because they realized it was too long for one movie. So
That's
Evolution is
right.
basically like the next half of the original script. Yeah.
Wait, how soon after did it come out? It was.
It was 3 years, but I think it was that was what was originally going to be filmed altogether, but they realized it was too long for
Yeah.
one film, so they just split it in half and
Yeah, it was
filmed
3 years.
Yeah.
But I'm also
And
not. I'm also when it comes to movies, I'm not. I'm not a movie person where it's like, oh, a love scene or someone gets connected really quick in the beginning, and then you instantly go into the movie and suddenly they're married. They have like you, and then that's like you get that version of the story. I'm always about like I want the pre-story. I don't need your 10 years after story. like give me. I'd rather the beginning be all the tension, all the emotions, and then all that. So I think that's probably where I was like. I don't know. It just I every time I think about it, I don't really ever think about their story as much as I mean, I know if I would watch again, like yes, in the beginning, but I do. I
Mhm.
always think about all my other favorite characters.
it's the
And I
world
just
itself.
realized, I'm sorry.
It's just the world itself is what it is, more than it is just a character.
And it's definitely a consequence of it basically being Romeo and Juliet, because I mean, the whole point of Romeo and Juliet is these two kids, they don't have the chance to like have a proper relationship because it's like everyone's killing each other in the streets, and it's like heightened emotions. So they get together fast because of like the drama of the situation, and the idea is that it's meant to be tragic because they get together and they don't get to stay together because of how everything goes to hell. And you definitely do kind of lose a bit of that when it's like they do get together fast and have their happy ending. So
Yeah.
mhm.
And my
Oh, actually, fun.
lambasting.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Bob. Go ahead.
Yeah, fun connection to Romeo and Juliet. Celine's daughter is played by India Isley, and her mother, Olivia Hussey, who, sadly, she only died
Oh,
back in December. She was Juliet in the best version of Romeo and Juliet that you will ever watch.
really?
Yeah, from 1968.
The 68 version. Oh, I didn't know that. It's cool.
I love
Yeah.
fun facts. I know. I feel like
That's
now I
super
want you
cool.
guys to go through fun facts about the actors that I didn't know because I love random fun
I
facts.
got one for you. This
Okay.
is my favorite one. So when Kate Beckinsale first started filming for the first Underworld movie, she was actually dating Michael Sheen, the guy that plays Lucian.
Yeah.
What?
However, on the set of that first movie, she met the director Lynn Wiseman, and they ended up getting married. And actually were married for quite some time, if I remember correctly. They were married for a long time.
Wait, they were dating before the movie. Her and Michael Sheen, they were dating before?
I think they'd already split up by that point. Because they had a daughter, and the daughter plays Celine as a child in Evolution.
Wait, Michael Sheen and her had a daughter in real life?
Yeah, and she plays the young Celine in a flashback in Evolution.
Then they play the movie together, and then okay, keep going.
I think she even recommended him for the role of Lucian, yeah.
Oh, I love this. Okay.
This right here says that means that the director and one of the lead actors were on set along with the woman. Both were romantically connected to shooting an intense gothic romance about betrayal and forbidden love.
Okay, I love this. This is where I love real life human dynamics. That makes me so happy.
Yeah, I've seen attractions form on film sets, even though like I've rarely done like a long-term one. Like I've seen the, like being forced together and sort of, I can actually pinpoint moments where I was like, oh, yep, that's exactly when they fell in love.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, it kind of makes you wish. It kind of makes you wish that Celine and Lucian had more scenes together.
Like they have,
because they don't have a lot of time on screen together, hardly at all, which is surprising.
Oh, and apparently Michael Sheen like got into the pantomime horse with her as well. Because when she said it was,
that's awesome.
Yeah, they showed a picture on Graham Norton of the two of them in the horse, and then there's like the daughter is in the picture. She's like, oh, my daughter looks terrified there.
No wonder.
I love this.
I think the three of them even recreated, like there was a photo sort of that was meant to sort of like represent recreating her birth or something. And she says, oh, and then Michael's off to the side, which is actually very, reflective of what he was really like during the process. Sorry, yeah, like it's personality does a lot for me. Like as soon as Kate Beckinsale revealed how funny she was, she became a goddess to me.
Yeah, it definitely helps for sure. Mm-hmm. But we've been talking a lot about Scott Speedman and Bill Nighy and Kate Beckinsale and Michael Sheen. But we have yet to talk. Yes, but we have yet to talk about Theo James. And one other actor that I keep forgetting plays in the series. The amazing, fantastic, perfect, and I'll die on this hill, perfect replacement for Victor, Charles Dance.
Okay, I gotta look this up, dude. I don't even remember now. I'm like, were they that wonderful that I'm not remembering?
It's the last two movies. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you feel too good about the last two movies. So
yeah, I feel so stupid that the first thing I ever saw Charles Dance in was fucking Alien 3. I'm just like, what a terrible introduction to such a great actor.
Hey, it was me too.
Mm-hmm. I love Charles Dance. I do forget. You're right. I do love him.
Mm-hmm.
And Theo James plays his son.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've got to rewatch this now. I hate to say this. I'm sorry. I do not know why I'm blanking on anything to do with Theo James in this.
Because those last two movies, like even with me, Awakening, I didn't remember at all. And I had watched it.
I've got to okay, I'm gonna do a this is like crushing.
And I had never seen Blood Wars. And maybe that's why, like maybe there's recency bias, and maybe that's why I like it, I might just like it because I had never seen it and I got to see another Underworld movie. You know what I mean? Like that happens. That might be why I liked it. But it has a great cast. A lot of cool shit happens. Like, I'm one of those people that can shut my brain off and just like cool shit.
Yeah.
Like it was fun. I got to see Theo James. I got to see Charles Dance. I got to see Kate Beckinsale. Like I got to see ice Viking vampires. Like it was just cool. But like Awakening is it just feels weak. It almost feels like they were trying to do a detective drama. I don't know. It just felt very weird.
I remember Stephen Ray being in that.
Yes. Yep. And
he's played a werewolf before. He's played a werewolf and a vampire, and then he played, someone who's hunting both.
Right. And Theo James shows up in that one. That's when we first see Celine's daughter, Celine and Michael's daughter.
Daughter's called Eve, isn't she?
Yes. And Scott Speedman's character is technically in that movie, but he's basically killed off screen, which also feels very weak.
Yeah, I think it was he didn't want to be part of it, or he
So
didn't.
there was
Yeah,
something, yeah.
there was something. Yeah, so they killed him off.
And he just killed off screen. But he's a huge part of the story because his daughter sees through Celine's eyes or sees his memories of her. And that's how
Yeah.
she knows her because she's never met her.
Oh.
It's kind of messy. That
Mhm.
movie's just kind of messy. And I mean, Blood
Yeah.
Wars is too, but at least it's fun.
Yeah, because I think Len Weissman was having to give like script notes like in between like shooting Total Recall because he was doing the remake of that. And so they had no script or like, and because the effects guys, they said they didn't even know what they were designing for.
Okay, that was probably it was the effects. That's where I was like, I remember my sister and I had this whole conversation about the effects, and she was just, I didn't even keep going. Now I'm like diving back.
The giant werewolf was cool. That's about the only thing about that movie that, the feral werewolves were also cool. They had like these feral werewolves that were living underground. They were also kind of a cool thing, but it's just kind of cool stuff in a very bland box.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like it's good ingredients and just not knowing how to use them.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly perfect. Eloquently put.
Who knew I could say something eloquent and intelligent?
Oh, quite often.
I knew that. But
Olivia, I love you. I don't tell you that enough.
I love you too. I know. I was like, I did ask. I was like, okay, how long is appropriate till we? How many podcasts do we have to do till we get Bobby back on?
Just get Bobby back on. Let's just make him the third member.
I think we need to manifest that we get appointed as movie critics so we can all watch movies together.
Yes.
And give our opinion, like be able to give our opinions with the fans so then we can discuss it. So the Why We Love podcast is going to manifest that we're going to be invited to go to shows so we can watch and write our own reviews and discuss it because everyone will represent you.
And it can happen because one of my favorite YouTubers, if you like older films like from the golden age of Hollywood, her name is Be Kind Rewind. Like she covers so much, like such good content, right? And eventually she got invited to like co-host a thing for TCM earlier this year. And when she shared the video, it was like, oh, we all just felt so proud of her. It's like, oh, her hard work paid off. So
okay, well then there we go. We can manifest. We've manifested. We've put it out there.
So I want to talk about one more thing that's not Underworld, but
Van Helsing.
I think we'll get to that in just a second. Because I think that's a longer subject we might need to talk about.
Callaway's going to love our 2-hour podcast.
So now Bobby knows this movie. I doubt you do. But if you like Underworld, I think you would love it. It stars Andy Whitfield.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it came out a few years after Underworld. 3 or 4 years after Underworld. It came out in that time.
2007.
Yes. And it's called Gabriel.
Hold on.
And Gabriel very much has the same aesthetic, very much has the same tone, has some great acting in it. It's not going to have much of a cast that
because it was basically a self-funded Australian film, and like the director just raised the money himself, and it was sort of like you kind of respect it more than like it, but it's like considering they had nothing to work with, they did a really good job.
And it does tell a good story. I think it tells a pretty good story, like especially with what they had to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I didn't see. Okay.
If you like the Underworld aesthetic, it's right up your alley. Like Bobby said, it does suffer from all the stuff that comes with being low budget. But
I don't know, but I like the weird. I don't know. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I do too. So
I was rewatching Wolf Creek the other day, and that's like one of my favorite films. And I was like, I miss this sort of indie aesthetic where you can probably tell it wasn't that big a crew, and you can see the passion coming through in spite of like the few resources they had.
No, I love seeing that when you, like you said, you can tell when the actors and everyone come together, and it was just like, now I don't know how I don't want to say like low budget, but even like with Walter's the movie War Dogs, like they were like, it wasn't like a massive budget, but it was like, I mean, it's out on BET right now, but dude, I loved it. I loved it so much. I loved just how they did the cuts. I'm like, they did the writing. It was one of those movies. I'm like, oh, this is really fun. And I love seeing those indie stuff, those type of movies. That's just like, yeah. So I don't need
Well,
high
Olivia,
budget.
it's just like when Scott was telling us about that JYB movie, the martial arts movie
Yeah.
that he never got released. And I watched one fight scene and I was like, how does this not get released? It's like you find gems in that stuff. Like that's the diamonds in the rough, so to speak, you know?
Yeah. Cody, did you ever watch the only feature film I've been in?
I don't think I've gotten to watch it. No, what's it called?
Oh, it's called Spears. Basically, it's yeah, it was really interesting how they did it because it was a two-person crew and they literally traveled to 4 different countries to film. Like, I mean, we have stuff filmed in Ireland, stuff filmed in Berlin, stuff filmed in London, and then Florence as well.
Oh, cool, dude. I'm looking.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Wait,
Hey,
wait,
look at that. You're on the cast list. What? That's so cool. I know you're an actor. I don't know why I got excited. I know that.
Mm-hmm. I did do an animated film as well, but this is like my only live action feature film so far.
We're going to have Bobby voicing a fanling. We're going to make an Irish fanling. We'll talk about fanlings later.
Yeah. No, yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yes, we need to do another one. Because I want to know his opinion.
But yeah, we need his opinion.
We'll do a wrap. So we're not like, so we'll like, what do you, okay, go ahead, Cody.
We got to talk about Van Helsing just a little bit. We have to.
Of course.
Van Helsing came out a year later, and it's another vampire werewolf, high octane fantasy film. And it was so good at just the right time. It had Kate Beckinsale in it. And I'm going to give another unpopular opinion. I'm full of those today. A lot of people would say I'm full of something. My favorite interpretation, not only of werewolves, I think those are the best looking werewolves ever put to film. American Werewolf in London's close second, very close. But my favorite ever performance of Dracula.
Yeah,
in any
that's
film
very
ever.
valid. You know,
Richard Roxburgh's murdered it. He murdered that role. He showed up for work, and he worked, man. And also David Wenham, who I love. Faramir is the best Lord of the Rings character ever. I will die on that hill. But such a great movie. It's so much in the vein of the Underworld movies. And on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a grand, amazing, high-ranking 24% from the critics.
I'm trying to... Go ahead.
Cody, can you guess what my favorite performance in that is?
Oh, I know who it is. Elena Anaya as Alira.
Yeah. I was just
and you know what? The reason I know that is because I was in love with her. Every time I watched this movie, she stole it. She stole the screen every time she was on it.
And she was even like, she threw herself all into this role. Like she was even studying the movements of bats to incorporate them into her character.
I remember hearing that in the special features. They actually mentioned that. I feel like this is a severely underrated movie.
What is?
Van Helsing is severely underrated.
Oh. See, that's why when I think about it, like everyone does talk about Underworld a lot, but I for me in like connection, they're equal. And I've actually weirdly watched Van Helsing more than Underworld.
Yeah.
I like Van Helsing better than the first Underworld movie.
Yeah, I just
Oh yeah, like that scene of the brides attacking the village, that's one of my favorite action scenes of all time.
Yeah. So great.
Like Sonya, everyone gives Anna so much shit for, you know, not being like strong enough. And it's like the reason she gets in trouble so much in that scene is because she's literally the only one there after. Like she has 3 flying vampires after her, and so she does quite well, all things considered.
Right. Not to mention, she does a lot of the swashbuckling in this movie.
Like one of my friends is like,
it's always fun.
She was always like, "Oh, why didn't she use that cutlass more?"
You
changed it.
Oh my god. I know. I think I'm trying. When I was like introduced to him, I'm like, okay. No, it was Kate. It wasn't even for him. I'm like, it was. Yeah.
I knew him as Wolverine first, obviously, but you know.
He has a fantastic like non-action bevy of films. He played in a movie called Australia with Nicole Kidman.
Oh yeah,
I love that movie. I freaking love that movie.
Have you guys ever seen with Woody Allen Scoop?
No, I don't even know.
Scarlett Johansson?
No, I don't know.
Oh my god, my god! You guys have.
We got so much to talk. We're all like, like
You
little
have
kids
to
who
watch
just left the
Scoop.
movie.
It is such a ridiculous, dumb slapstick comedy. And he's like this murderer. And it is like, the whole time you just fucking love him. But he is like it's twisted. It's so much fun. And there's ghosts. And it's weird. I don't even know the different storylines that all go in, but like Scarlett Johansson, she plays it. She's like young. It's like it's just so good. You've got to watch it, but I would have never, ever it just makes almost no sense. And it's amazing. It's one of my favorites.
I'm going to have to look that up. He played in another movie with Scarlett Johansson. It's actually the only Nolan film that I like. The only Chris Nolan film I like.
Prestige. Yeah.
The Prestige. I freaking love The Prestige. It's Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, all of Christopher Nolan's, actors. Michael Caine. David Bowie plays Nikola Tesla. Like
Andy Serkis is in there as well.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Well, they just threw everybody in that movie. But I remember the first time I watched that and I saw David Bowie. I'm like, what the hell? Why is David Bowie in my movie? Like, what's going on right now? And
I had no idea that was him.
Watch movies together. Now I just want to sit and watch movies with you guys.
We did last night. We chilled. I just sat on my couch and we watched the movie.
I wasn't invited.
Well, I mean, it was Cody who offered the whole
I know.
thing,
Cody told me he was having a date. And I was like, oh, how nice.
Did you actually say that?
She said, hey, are we doing a call tonight? I'm like, no, I have a date with Bobby. And she's like, oh, well, you go watch your movie then.
You could have invited her, I wouldn't have said no.
He's with me all the time.
You don't invite a third wheel on a first date, Bobby. That's rude.
Well, it's not the first.
Okay, fair.
We've recorded
even worse. You guys have been dating and doing all this fun. Why am I only your work wife? I only get to be around when we work, not when we can have good times.
Why do I feel like I'm stuck in an argument? Why do I feel like I have two people fighting over me? I mean, keep going. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I just
we just love being on calls with him because we just love taking in his, every aspect of those beautiful features. See how the eyebrow just pops up there.
Too much. Okay. Mm-hmm. After you guys have established yourself in your relationship with watching movies, if you want a third wheel to ask a lot of questions, interrupt, be very loud and mouthy. Wait, do you guys have rules? Do you guys have rules to how you watch your movies?
No, we've only done it the once, and I think we were trying to figure out exactly how we would do it because the last time it was he just got it up on his TV, like I had the thing on my thing ready, and we were just on a call so that we kind of synced so that we reacted to it at the same time. But
once I get my office, it'll be much easier.
Mm-hmm. Like, and Olivia, I just thought of a mini series that I'll have to watch with you as well. Because you said you love a blend of science and fantasy.
Yes.
It's called Tin Man, and it's a sort of like sci-fi fantasy retelling of The Wizard of Oz.
Oh.
Yeah. How do I describe it? It's really good, yeah. Like, oh God, I wish I could, pitch it really well, but it's like, it was very influential on me, and Neil McDonough is in it, and he says it's one of his favorite roles, so.
Oh, this is, okay, so this is, I will tell you, you have a hard sell because Wizard of Oz freaked me out as a kid.
Okay.
I hated when she clicked her shoes, and I don't know why, so I would have to close my eyes. I don't know what about it. Okay, I remember when
That's intriguing.
It was a very weird, it was, the movie, I think I know why. And we're getting off on a tangent. Man, we do this.
This is our podcast. We do it every
podcast. I think it was one of the first movies. It was. Now that I think about it, it was the first movie I saw, like, real life characters mixed with these kind of fake, and it's puppets. Fucking puppets. It felt like puppets. That's why I hate puppets.
Yeah, we got very Freudian here.
That's why I hate puppets. I could not figure out.
Love you.
I know that. But that's where that was the first time I ever saw those two worlds interact. And I would rather have it be one or the other. And it was like, I need to either have something extremely unbelievable, like vampires, werewolves, and all that, but to have this like real life feeling. And I obviously know there's like a wizard and all that. I don't know why. It didn't.
No, Olivia, it's called Uncanny Valley, and it affects a lot of people. It's not just you. Uncanny Valley is that weird line between what your brain is willing to accept and your suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, because then it would go to
That
cut
line
to
gets
black and
crossed.
white, and then her shoes were red, and then it would go from these characters, and then it was just like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it
Don't worry,
makes me
Tin
get
Man has
pumped.
none of that.
Oh, perfect. Okay, well then you're good.
Okay, so what you're talking about, I want to ask both of you right now. Have either one of you seen a show called Carnival Row?
No.
Is that
Carnival
with
Row
Orlando Bloom?
has Orlando Bloom
I can't believe I knew that.
and Cara Delevingne in it.
Oh, I love
What?
What?
Wow.
And it is something I watched on Amazon, and it inspired me so much that I literally wrote a synopsis for a book for it. Like I eventually am going to write a story with pretty much like a similar setting. And it's about like Victorian era London
I would love that.
in a universe where they have been invaded by a fairy world. So Victoria era London, and nobody talks about this show. It's just gone. It got 2 seasons, got canceled.
Oh, that's why I didn't watch it. I get fucking pissed when they do that.
It also has Jared Harris, not Jared, the son. Is Jared the son?
See.
Dumbledore's real life son. I can't think of his name.
Richard
I think it's
Harris's
Jared
son,
Harris.
yeah.
Richard Harris's son, Jared, yes. And it's got an
Jamie.
amazing,
Jamie Harris.
might be, yeah. It's got an amazing
Well, she
cast.
looked it up, so it has to be true.
Orlando Bloom and Cara Delevingne are in it. Everybody kills their rows. You've got fairies. You've got like this almost like this war between humans and like these fey creatures. It's very fantasy meets industrial revolution, like steampunk almost. It's such a great movie. The aesthetic is awesome. It's all about like civil rights. It's got that civil rights underlining, like what is considered human, who deserves what kind of thing to it. But it's also got some Lovecraftian stuff going on in it. And you both know how I feel about that. And it's like that.
No, I don't know
combination
anything about
stuff-
your feelings towards that.
No, not at all. You didn't literally sit with me and talk with me through an entire 600-page book right as I wrote it. But yeah, no, I recommend that for both of you because it's really unique, and it's a shame that it didn't get more time to cook. I think both of you.
I
like
mean,
it.
on the bright side, it means it didn't, get ruined in the long run.
That's actually true.
It's welcome, right? It didn't overstay its welcome. It didn't live long enough to see itself become the villain, so to speak.
No, that's how I felt with Penny Dreadful. I loved the TV series. That was like one of my favorites. And then it's like they suddenly just decide to wrap it up, and then suddenly the end of the world came and all that. I was just like, and same thing. I really got into Shadow and Bone. Actually, I don't know if you guys saw that one. It's really
No, I don't think I know that
very
one.
fantasy. It's a newer one. Like came out like 2 years ago, but of course they're like, oh, we're gonna stop, and I'm like, so. Anyways, that's my. This is
Look
why
at
I
this
wait. This is
wallpaper.
why I wait, because this is why I go back and watch movies that have already been established. We're like, oh, we have a whole series out. I love when people give me recommendations of TV series that are like 10 years ago, because then I know I have something to look forward to. I am not one to start with now. Like if something's new coming out, the only one I did was Wheel of Time. Because I was like, okay, they put so much money in it that it's like they're probably going to keep going. And it's good, but it's like, I mean, it's like takes a lot to follow. There's just so many storylines, but that's
Yeah,
why-
the books are massive, so that
yes.
explains it.
And so I'm like, I think I'd actually enjoy the books more. But I do enjoy all the characters, but it's a lot. It's like when you can tell when they try to put a lot in a movie and you're like, oh, there's so many storylines going here. So I don't know, but I'm not a writer or a director, so I cannot act like I can give any critic to that. I love that.
I'd say you'd be a good director.
Mm.
Yeah, because I told Cody yesterday that he would be a good director because he was just, during the movie, he was just giving all these notes and all these statements. And I was like, Cody, you should direct at some point.
Why don't we all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Let's do it together.
Together. Let's watch movies together. I'm just kidding. I'm going to invite myself to all the parties.
Let's make our own movies and then watch them and review them. That's how you avoid a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll just have Cody naked the whole movie then.
100%. Oh, but no.
No one could give that a bad review.
Only, but he's wearing a baseball cap because we have to give him some security.
Okay, cool.
I gotta have my glasses on.
Fine.
No, like I'll let you have the hat, but you can't have the glasses. Those eyes are too pretty.
I was like, it's too. I don't know though if he has the glasses off. I feel like it'll be too intimate for us. Like I think it's almost too much intimacy. Like now we've crossed an inappropriate line where it's like if his glasses are off, all bets are off for everybody.
They do say that the eyes are the windows to the soul. So
You gotta cover up those eyes. Every part of you.
I take these off, and I'm like Cyclops. I just blast you.
No,
Through
we fall in love. Everyone falls in love. Don't do it. Don't get.
You guys are ridiculous.
I think this is a perfect place to end. We're gonna make a video, a movie together. Cody's gonna be naked the whole time except with a hat. Maybe not, but definitely we'll decide with the glasses. If we'll see how far we want to get into this relationship. All right, guys. For all the men here that come last, I will say goodbye now and let you all end. Anything you all have to say before we go?
Yeah, let's just reflect on what we've just done and what, evil we've unleashed into the world.
What we're about to put out.
I got one last thing
I don't think anyone's gonna understand the love affair that's going on here. Everyone's just gonna be like, what are we watching at this point?
Hey,
we have 1 minute until it's 2 hours. So Cody, wrap it.
If we're gonna watch, if the three of us are gonna watch a movie together, I want that movie to be Everything Everywhere All at Once.
What is it? I don't know what that is. That
I'm gonna take that as a yes. I'm gonna take that as an agreement.
What does Bobby say?
Thank you guys for watching the Fanward Podcast, and we will talk to you next time.